Hello, Game Monkeys. My name is Rob, and welcome to HearthStone Chronicles. This is the month in review show. At the beginning of every month, I will talk about what happened last month, how I did, what my plans are for next month, and kind of show you around from there. So, just show you the properties on my Hearthstone shortcut here. It was installed on March 2nd, so I have just started playing Hearthstone basically for a month, and in that time I made it to rank 8 with my priest deck, so very excited about that. I was informed this morning when I signed on to Hearthstone for the first time that that puts me in the top 5% of players, so pretty jazzed about that. That's pretty exciting. So let's launch Hearthstone, and I will be doing two things today. Primarily, I will basically show you what my priest deck ended up being, talking about some of the cards I decided to put in, kind of where the deck started, and then because we're in a new season and my rank has reset, I will show you my build for the next month. Every month until I play all 9 classes, I intend to go through all the classes. Last month was Priest. This month will be Shaman, and we'll go from there. There's the Innkeeper greeting me. Always nice, warm, and fuzzy. So today I have to win 2 matches as a Hunter or Druid, so we'll be doing that here in a second. I'm going to go into my collection. So for starters, my Priest build was called Butt, because the original concept was to have creatures with large toughness that I could then heal with my priest, and I'd never changed that name. So a lot of staple cards. Holy Smite to ping some stuff off. Power Word Shield used to be in the deck much more heavily because, like most noobs, I fell in love with, where is he? Lightspawn. Lightspawn is just a very fun creature who's a 5/5 for 4, and if you throw Power Word Shield on him, he becomes a 7/7, or you do things like Divine Spirit, and he becomes a 10/10. This is a lot of fun, and it's very, very splashy, but ultimately, most intelligent players immediately key on Lightspawn and kill him. So at the end of the day, you have a dead Lightspawn, and then your other spells to pump him up do little to nothing. So I started trimming those out more and more, and eventually the Lightspawns died out, and I was left with no cards to pump them up. I recently put Power Word Shield back in because Power Word Shield does some very nice things with my Cleric, making her a 1/5. I'm more likely to be able to heal her and draw extra cards. So these two cards together have done a ton for the card drawing in the set. Power Word Shield also does some nice things with Imp Master. Lets me crank out more imps. And again, anytime I increase the toughness on my characters, effects like Cleric's draw ability or the Shadow Boxer's deal damage ability is more likely to happen because I can heal them more readily. So that's very, very good. I used to only run 1 Shadow Word Pain. I run 2 because of the Shaman class. I found that their totems, of course, will always be vulnerable to Shadow Word Pain. But then more specifically, there's the totem that increases the attack damage. I need to kill those things or it runs me over. 2 Annoyatron because, first of all, Annoyatron is one of the best taunt creatures in the game currently, in my opinion. At 2 mana, it takes typically 2 attacks to kill it. But at 2 mana, it fits down here with Kel'Thuzad. Kel'Thuzad is 8. If you can drop Kel'Thuzad and an Annoyatron on the same turn, on turn 10, then you have some protection with Kel'Thuzad. They're hopefully going to have to burn through a lot of resources to kill him. If they can't kill him and can only kill the Annoyatron comes back. So that's really, really good. Shadow Boxer is my other 2-drop. Love this creature. This literally, when I first built the deck, I was running River Crocolisk. And because it had a toughness of 3, I could smack it into something and heal it. So this was, in the original build, the card I was running where I eventually put Shadow Boxer. Then, of course, I found Shadow Boxer, crafted up a couple Shadow Boxers, and have, of course, been extremely happy about that ever since. I don't want to get rid of my Acolyte of Pain. Acolyte of Pain is the... Oh, that was back in the... Here. Acolyte of Pain is the next card I'm going to talk about. Acolyte of Pain kind of came to me as an inspiration as I was seeing other people play it, and I wasn't sure how good it was going to be. It is significantly better when you can get a Power Word Shield on there, but it does tend to draw me a lot of cards. At worst, it draws me a card, and there are some games where it will draw me a ton of cards, and that, of course, makes me very happy. Turned out I really do like Acolyte of Pain in the deck. I would run him in just about any deck where you can conceivably keep him alive longer than normal. Imp Master. Now, I have seen a lot of priests running Injured Blade Master. Let's just compare and contrast. We'll hop into crafting mode here real quick and see if we can't find Injured Blade Master. I'm not sure if Injured Blade Master is a priest-specific minion or... No, it looks like he's neutral. Let's see if I can't find him here. He is not coming to the forefront. Oh, there he is. Injured Blade Master. So, Injured Blade Master is a 4/7, comes in and deals 4 damage to himself. So he comes in as a 4/3, essentially. So people have been using him because they can then heal him, and then the Cleric or Shadow Boxer abilities will trigger, and they like him for that. Now, the reason why I prefer Imp Master over the Injured Blade Master is when you play her on turn 3, she becomes a 1/4 with a 1/1 Imp standing next to her. So she is more likely to stay on the board because she has a higher toughness than what the Injured Blade Master has. I can then, on the next turn, drop the Cleric and heal and have her back up to a 1/5, cranking out more imps. So you could, in theory, play the Injured Blade Master, have it deal its damage, and then immediately heal, but that supposes you already have a Cleric or Shadow Boxer down on the table, and then it costs 5, because then you're playing it and healing it all in the same turn, so it's a little clunkier in my opinion. All in all, it's not a bad choice, Injured Blade Master. It does have an attack of 5, so it will punch some things in the face, and if you can heal it very significantly, say with the spell that heals all minions, if you're running it with Circle of Healing, then yeah, I guess it's a 4/7 on turn 3, and maybe it does some great things, but I just prefer Imp Master. I've found that, especially with my deck, since I run a lot of mass removal like Holy Nova and Light Bomb, I found that the ability to use imps to tweak the toughnesses, essentially, the health of my opponent's minions, and then board clear has been very, very useful. Also, because I'm using Light Bomb, Injured Blade Master hits itself a little bit harder, and you have to work harder to get it back up to fully healed. The fact that Imp Master does 1 damage, yeah, it's a little disappointing, but it survives to things like Light Bomb. Shield Master, it's funny, looking at my deck, like, the Shield Master is the only 4-drop I run, and I run 2 of them, mostly because I can't find a better taunt creature in that slot. Now, again, the slot is very low. 4 is a very underrepresented number in my curve, because Light Spawn used to be there, and I used to have 4 spells or 4 minions in 4, but I dropped the Light Spawns because they were just never cutting it. Holy Nova is a bread and butter card, in my opinion, for Priest. If you can set things up correctly, then you can Holy Nova, and with a Cleric down, draw a whole bunch of cards, or I have completely wiped out my opponent's side of the board with a Shadow Boxer or 2 down on that side of the board. Holy Nova is a great card. Antique Healbot should be in almost everyone's deck, in my opinion. There are very aggressive mage decks or hunter decks that you're going to want to have the ability to drop this for 8 health. I used to run 2. I ended up cutting the second one to make word for the latest edition, which was Power Word Shield. So very, very good card. I'm going to talk about my legendaries next. I've got Fugan, Stalag, and Kel'Thuzad. These 3 guys are the only legendaries in my deck because I bought the Nox Ramus adventure. I don't run better legendaries because I don't own better legendaries. You saw at the beginning of this video, I started in March, so I've literally been playing less than a month. That'll be 2 months. It'll be 1 month tomorrow. That's the legendaries that I have. Don't get me wrong, I don't dislike them. It's very frustrating when players use Polymorph or Hex on the twins, but at the end of the day, he is a 4/7 for 5 and does extremely good for board control. He is a 7/4 for 5 and is a threat. Like on turn 5, turn 4, if you've got the coin and you want to get him down, you can be threatening pretty early with this guy, or at the very least, he'll trade off some of your opponent's creatures because they'll have to try to kill him or he'll punch you in the face. Sludge Belcher is another great taunt creature. Again, similar to the Unoyatron, it will take at least 2 attacks to break through because he will throw out a 1/2 slime. And similar to Unoyatron works well with Kel'Thuzad because you can play them together on turn 10. But Sludge Belcher, if you have a Sludge Belcher down on the table somehow and it has survived and you play Kel'Thuzad, then all of a sudden the death rattle triggers, you get the 1/2 slime, and then you get Sludge Belcher back. I've had people scoop to that all the time. Running 1 Holy Fire. I am not a fan of, let's see, Mind Blast. Don't get me wrong, Mind Blast is fine if you need to sneak that last 5 damage in, but it doesn't let you shoot minions, so I think that's very, very restrictive. Whereas Holy Fire, not only does it shoot a minion if I need to, I can shoot my opponent in the face for 5. I have done that to finish games, but restoring 5 health is similar to the heal bot. Get some 5 life back up, and of course, if you've got a Shadow Boxer down, it might deal an additional point of damage. I have actually recently won a rogue match where I needed to squeeze in 1 extra damage. Shadow Boxer and Holy Fire came through for me. Light Bomb is an epic. I don't see other players playing Light Bomb all that often. Again, I'm new. It might be me. But this card is very, very good. It has saved my tail against Paladins on multiple occasions. They'll bring out a whole bunch of Silverhand recruits, go Quartermaster. They've got some 3/3s killing me. I will keep Light Bomb in my opening hand against a Paladin because I suspect I'm going to need to clear the board at some point. Kel'Thuzad, again, a legendary because I don't have any other legendaries. If I had Ysara or anything else, essentially, that gives me card draw, I'd probably run it instead of Kel'Thuzad, but what are you going to do? Mind Control, I've had mixed feelings about. Recently, I've warmed up to Mind Control, but very, very infrequently will Mind Control save your life. It's 10 mana. It is everything you're going to cast that turn for sure. If you are leading in the game, if you are already winning, Mind Control will lock the game down for you. But if you are losing, you are probably not going to survive simply because you Mind Control something. Maybe a nice taunt creature on their side of the board maybe stabilizes you, but for the longest time I wasn't running Mind Control because I didn't really feel like it was all that great. But there are certain cards like the Archmage for Mage that you want to Mind Control. Certainly Sylvanas is a good one to Mind Control because then when she dies, you get to Mind Control something else, or they control something else. So this is my priest build. The cards I've skipped over. I didn't talk all that much about Cleric. I've talked about her in kind of passing, this is the reason I'm playing Priest. Like, I saw another player play Northshire Cleric and then draw a ton of cards because I was a complete noob and couldn't handle this Cleric. Like, I kept doing 2 damage to it, and he kept healing it and drawing a card, and it's like, that's what I want to play. And then the other card I skipped over was Shadow Word Death, only running 1 copy of Shadow Word Death as opposed to like the 2 copies of Shadow Word Pain, because there aren't a ton of big stuff that I need to worry about. Most aggressive decks are running smaller creatures. I typically reserve this for the cards that I know I'm going to want to kill. Again, the Archmage for Mage comes to mind whenever I'm playing a Mage, and I draw my Shadow Word Death. I'm like, okay, well, that's reserved for what's-his-name, unless I draw the Mind Control. So that is my Priest deck, so I'll finish up with that. And here is the first look at my Shaman deck that I'll be playing this season. So, Kel'Thuzad, Stalag, and Fugan are back, and the reason why is because I saw a player play a style of this deck against me, and I said, well, okay, that's what I'll be playing next season. Instead of running Kel'Thuzad, Stalag, and Fugan because they're the only legendary I have, I decided to build a deck around the legendaries that I have and do that and do that. So I'm gonna maximize those 3 minions in the deck that I'm running. So what I'm running is those 3 creatures with these 2 spells. Ancestral Spirit, I can, you notice it's 2 mana. I can cast Kel'Thuzad, and then I can give it Death Rattle, resummon this minion. So what'll happen is if you kill Kel'Thuzad, he comes back. And then the one that comes back brings back the original. So all of a sudden you have 2 Kel'Thuzad on the table, and you're gonna wreck. Like that's some pretty hefty stuff. And then I have Reincarnate. A common does a similar thing. I play Kel'Thuzad, I destroy a minion, then I return it to life with full health. So I can reincarnate my Kel'Thuzad, and then he'll bring back the original one. These also work with Stalag and Fugan. If you've triggered one, you can trigger again. So they'll get you more Thaddeus all day long. So, to look at the rest of the deck, I've got Ancestral Healing, restoring a minion to full health and giving it Taunt. That's going to be useful for things late game like Fugan, giving him Taunt, restoring him full health and giving him Taunt. Seems pretty good. Early on, I would not mind giving my Eggs Taunt. You'll notice Death Rattle here, another Death Rattle ability. I wouldn't mind giving one of my, if I need in a pinch, I can give one of my totems Taunt. Flame Tongue Totem, probably not going to get Taunt because it's too valuable otherwise, but I like this guy a lot. Let's see. Forked Lightning, I was looking for some damage spells similar to Holy Smite. I'll be interested to see how I do with Overload, but this guy is good for clearing boards early. Rockbiter Weapon, I've seen this used to take out my Clerics and my Shadow Boxers, so I think it's a nice little staple card. Also, you can throw it on the egg and then crack the egg upside the head. Talked about those. Haunted Creeper. Actually, I'm gonna get rid of Haunted Creeper. I was going to. So the other legendary I'm throwing in here is Baron Rivendare. It triggers Death Rattles twice. So yeah, I was gonna be doing as much Death Rattle as I could, but my 2, like before I deleted those, it was at 9, so that was pretty severe. I'll have to find another card to throw in there, but no more of them. Egg, like I said, Death Rattles twice, hopefully, if I can get the Baron down. Hex is just a good removal spell for any sized creature. You gotta be judicious with it, in my opinion. Lava Burst, I got the golden one in a Pack-A-Day episode. I crafted the second Lava Burst with the theoretically the spell damage minions from the totems. I can do 6 damage, crank that up a little bit. Baron Rivendare, like I said, will trigger my extra death rattles. Defender of Argus is in there to give my totems that I'm hopefully going to have lying around the board taunt, and also they can taunt an egg. So that's useful, and they power up the egg so the egg can actually swing into something if need be. 1 copy of Bloodlust, because this card ends games. Sludge Belcher has Death Rattle, so he works better with Baron Rivendare. So that's good there. Fire Elemental, because it's a good battle cry creature that deals 3 damage. So I'm going to find something for the 2 slot. I don't need that up anymore. I could go low with like an Undertaker on turn 1. I mean, I could throw a Noyatron back in. Like, until I have a better idea, I think I'm throwing a Noyatron back in. Like, that really does stack my curve at 2. Maybe that's a mistake. But, yeah. I mean, again, it's one more thing that I can throw down next to Kel'Thuzad. So, anyway, that is pretty much all I want to talk about for this end of month update. If I go done and I go back out, you'll see if I go into the play area that I am rank 18 with 1 star. So I am starting above 20. So I get the card back. Oh yeah, speaking of the card back, let's throw the card back on. Go option. Oh, where's my new card back? Oh, there it is. That is the March card back. I do like it a lot. I will be using that one for a while at least. Oh, and by the way, I got a friend. So Super Pie Face is actually my son. So of course he's going to be my friend online. But I played a nice player named Being Rachel. She was running a Paladin deck up around the level 9 area, and she was the one I kept the Light Bomb in my opening hand against. So that was pretty awesome. If you'd like to friend me on Hearthstone, I am NinjaSim37. 1495. I welcome anyone who would like to friend me. But other than that, I've been Rob, you've been great, and thanks for watching.